All right, so I was pretty sure that that last video was going to do well. I just did not know it was going to do that well. 2 days after publishing that Face of the Industry Blesnik thing, 1,700 views, a lot of engagement and comments. Thank you to every single one of you who commented, liked, and shared it. I don't know if analytics can tell me how many people shared it, but thank you so much if you did. I know that as someone who is under 1,000 subscribers, that once you have lightning in a bottle, or once you have the conch, or once you have the attention, your next video can't flop. It can't be bad. I have done that. I've had GameStop videos that got 27,000 views, 9,000 views, 3,000 views, which all are great for a small channel such as myself on YouTube. Having said that, my follow-up videos for those flopped because I was doing mail days. I was doing things that people were like, wait, we came for the GameStop stuff. What happened to that? So this time, I'm not making that mistake. It would be foolish of me to go back to a mail day video after that last one. So I'm doubling down with a video that's a reaction to the reactions of my reaction video, which sounds ridiculous, but that's where we are. I'm calling this the Hobby Fight Club because I want to get into the comment section where two grown men are literally trying to set up a fight between each other. And I thought, you know what? In the past, I would not deleted, because I don't delete comments ever. Some people think I do. I do not. I do block people. I restrict them. But I was like, you know what? If I blocked these people, it would be like flushing down jewelry down the toilet, because it's comedy gold. Or, well, maybe not comedy gold, but you'll get the point. But before I get to that, I wanted to highlight one particular thread, and this is going to be about Hobby Fight Club, and I'm going to bring it back around to the hobby. I promise you, and if I don't, then you can forever block my channel and never watch again. But Sam's Cardboard Collection says, in response to the video that I made on Instagram about this whole situation, he writes, because I wore this hat. I didn't wear this hat in the YouTube video, but I wore it in Instagram because I'm more tongue-in-cheek. I'm a little bit more playful and all that. And this is maybe it's a little trolly. But he wrote, a clout chaser that pays for followers, wears a positive vibes only hat, then tears someone else's opinion down, shows you're just a walking hypocrite. All right. Blez has done more for the hobby just in the last few months than you have in your entire life. Oh, he's so angry at me. But that's not saying much. Emoji, crying face emoji. It's like this person feels like he knows who I am, and he went to school with me, or he cut me to the core. It hurts me so much. So I write back, yes, finally. Only took one full day for the first such comment to appear. Been waiting for you, man. Where you been? So the reason I said that is because the first day of my Instagram post and that comment section and the YouTube section, still to this, at the time of recording, there's over maybe 50 comments. Maybe, half of them are me responding to people. But in the YouTube comments, it's 50. In the Instagram post, it's over 100 or whatever it is. And almost all of it is absolutely dunking on Blez, not me. And I thought I might get some backlash. YouTube section, you guys were actually really kind to me. Thank you so much. Because it's long form. You fully heard my stance. In the Instagram, which is social media and shorter attention spans, and it was a shorter video that kind of summed everything up. There, I got 2 or 3 people who are detractors, haters, whatever you want to call them, but they were not supportive of my comments. And Sam is one of them. And so it's funny to me that this person never comments on my stuff. He follows me, great, but doesn't engage, doesn't follow. There are these people who swoop in as soon as you do something wrong that doesn't agree with them. It's 99% of what you do, they may love or like, but they'll never press the like button or comment. But then as soon as you do something that they don't like, that you're doing, they'll just immediately let you know that they're displeased. So he responds to my reply and says, "This is the only type of content that will go viral for you," which I'm going to show right here. That's not the case, but hey, it's all good. You paid for your 10K followers. Almost zero are organic. Never paid for followers. Actually, I want to tell, after I read this, I'm going to tell a story about when I did promote 2 posts. It shows in all your posts. How are you going to have 10K plus followers and average 20 likes per video you post? Crying emoji, crying emoji. Come on, bro. Who you fooling? You're loving the attention this is getting you, and it shows. Petty doesn't pay, buddy. I actually really like that alliteration. Petty doesn't pay, buddy. Like, that is like, I don't know if he meant it or not. I don't know if he's like smart enough to have thought this is going to be really alliterative and like it's going to just rhyme and it's going to be like really nice. I don't know, right? Because I didn't ask about that. But it was pretty good. I like that. Petty doesn't pay, buddy. I did, before I get to my response, or actually he wrote some more stuff. I have never bought any followers. I've never bought any likes. I know content creators who do. More power to them. I think it's an ego thing. You know, there are two reasons why people do content creation. It's ego or money. And for me, it's not money. It is ego. But I've never paid for followers and supporters. Some people think I have because, you know, they'll say, oh, look how quickly he rose, or look at this chart. I know about Social Blade, okay? I will tell you straight up that if you do some really good viral content and then that's when the graph goes up, then that makes sense. When nothing is associated with that spike, it's someone paid for it. So anyway, you can do your own research about all that. Maybe I'll do a video about that and like sponsorship and content another time, because I'm about to talk about sponsorships. Just one little vignette here, which is Arena Club. I was sponsored by them very briefly. More power to the company, but I'm not working with them right now. And they wanted to do a giveaway with me because I hit either a 7,000 or 8,000 milestone, which, by the way, that was my favorite time when I was like 4, 5, 6,000 followers. That was like there was no drama, which again, the hobby positivity crew loves to use the hobby positivity. They're like so positive, but then like, oh, it's drama. It's like, it's not always drama. I feel like the people who use the word drama are actually the most dramatic, but that's just me. Hey, but Arena Club wanted to help me celebrate 7,000 followers. I think it was 7,000. And they wanted to do a giveaway of a really nice card, like, you know, it was like a Michael Jordan prototype, hoops, PSA 10. And they gave me money to, either they gave me money or they paid. I forget how it happened, but it was a collab post. Like I made the post and then they helped and then we cross collabed. So we were both authors of the post, and then money was spent. Either it was like $100 or $200, I forget what, but it was spent for X number of days for X number of followers, something like that. So I'm kind of pulling the curtain down because, again, I made that Wizard of Oz reference the other day. I want to pull down the curtain and I want to show you what I know with this series of vlogs. I'm not going to like tear down creators every vlog, but at least for this one, I want to like keep it real, or all of them want to keep it real. But spent a certain amount of money. I got like maybe a couple of hundred of followers after that, when it said, you know, tag me, like this, follow me, follow Arena Club, and then do the random number generator and all that stuff. Those followers did not subsequently like my stuff, follow. They did follow, but they didn't like, there wasn't actual engagement out of them. They might have well as been bot followers, even if they weren't bots. B-O-T, not B-O-U-G-H-T, but B-O-T followers. But having said that, I don't know if I'll do that again with the company. I realized that it was kind of like inflating my numbers because all the people wanted to do was get into a giveaway. They didn't care about my content. So that was a mistake, I think, at that time. The second time, and this time I did pay money, and it was like literally just $20, but there was some sort of kerfluffle with the women in the hobby where it came to like me supporting them or like wanting to show that I supported them. And at that time, people were accusing me of white knighting. And in hindsight now, like 2 years later, because I did this like when I was like really small in Instagram, I can see their point. I can see like that wasn't my intention, but I can see how that was maybe a valid criticism, especially because I was coming out of nowhere and doing it. So like, I get it. I won't do it again. Like, it doesn't make sense for me to have done it. And I don't remember what the whole issue was, but I just remember at that time I did spend $20 with Instagram to promote one of my supporting women in the hobby posts for like a day or maybe two, but it was like $20. I don't know. It was like help me reach 1,000 more followers, or 1,000 more, help me reach 1,000 more people outside of my, sphere of interest. So anyway, I've never bought followers or likes. There are people who do. And as a little tip for hobby companies, and I'll maybe make content about this in Instagram, but you can buy, or these content creators buy, likes and followers. They cannot, and I think you can buy comments from like comment bots, BOTs, where it's like, cool stuff, or, emoji, fire emoji. Like, that doesn't really count as engagement. But you cannot, as far as I know, there is no way for someone to try to buy shares where people share your content, whether it's like shares or hate shares, and then saves. People cannot buy saves. So if you're a hobby company, because I think some of you watch this, my content, even though I'm a small channel, if you try to work with a content creator, ask them to share their most shared or most saved post, or the post that they're most proud of with their metrics, not just followers and likes. That's too surface level, it's too easy. But go to that in Instagram, because that'll show you whether they're getting true engagement. Okay, so that's just a little tip, free advice here from a small channel on YouTube, but a channel that on Instagram apparently bought all my followers, 10K. So where am I? He says, Sam continues by saying, hey, at the end of the day, which again rhymes, this great job, bud. But hey, at the end of the day, you do you. Controversy clearly gets clicks, but won't get you ahead in an industry you're trying to help promote and grow. Who said I was trying to help and promote this industry? Anyway, hope you do well in life, brother. You're clearly passionate about the hobby, and we need more folks who are. Yeah, okay, thank you. No one can ever accuse me that I'm not passionate about the hobby or things in life in general. And we do need more people like that. Just don't wear a positive vibes only hat, then talk shit about someone who has clearly done more for this hobby than you ever will. And that's just the truth, brother. Because, oh my gosh, who says that quote? And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. That's just the truth. That's just, oh my gosh, that is, well, you know what? Maybe he's right. I will say, I will never, ever, ever break more product than the Blez family and the Blez brand ever has to this point. Like, there's no way. And do they do other things for the hobby? I don't know what they're, charitable, what else do they know the hobby? I don't know. But would I ever do anything? Could I ever have more influence or cloud or inspiration? Could I ever do something as big as the Blez family, or even just one of them? It's possible not, right? I mean, again, look at me, small YouTube channel. It's like, I may not ever do anything in the hobby that's as big as them, and I'm fine with that, okay? I really am. Like, I'm telling you, like, oh, it's not me lying to myself. Like, it's okay if I don't, okay? Because they have done some things, okay? That's great. So then I respond back to Sam's cardboard collection. Thank you for saying that. Completely incorrect, but it's perfect for more content, which, hi, this is the content. And then I said, you do you too, Sam. It looks like you have a new card account. Okay, and then I'll show his card account here, and it's not to like hate on him. It's really to show you what, well, I'll explain. I started off just like you, taking pics of my cards with a bright red background, trying to get the light just right. It reminds me of a simpler time for my account, but it looks like you're new to my content. Hope you enjoy the ride. I actually meant that genuinely. I actually want to do a side-by-side comparison here of Sam's Instagram account and mine, like in the early stages, because I think this is how a lot of us start, okay? And I know I'm going to get to the Hobby Fight Club, I promise, because that is the whole point of this. But a lot of us, not everyone, but a lot of us kind of just start off not wanting to be a content creator or, like a clout chaser, influencer, any of that. We're just kind of like creating, like, I'm a normal person who fell back into love with the hobby that I used to love. I stopped because a lot of family, like, there's too much stuff. Another story for another time, I promise. I'm going to get to it another time. I just can't do the long drawn out thing here, and that's what I think it deserves. Having said that, when it comes to my Instagram, I never had Instagram prior to the hobby, like social media. Like I like Facebook, but it was like private, and I didn't come from sneakers or what are other people coming from into this hobby? Like, they've done other things, right? It's not like that. I just created my card account for me, and I just had some fun. I didn't even switch on from personal to business profile until something like 2 or 3 thousand followers. I can't remember exactly, but it was just like for fun and to show my collection to the 20 people who liked my posts. I followed a lot of people. A lot of people followed, not a lot of people followed me. I followed a lot of people. I put up posts, and I just had fun with it. It was just pictures. That's it. Barely even any good captions. And then like I went from there to sharing more of myself and more of my story and a little bit more of my own personality. Because in the beginning, it wasn't about my personality. It was just about the cards. And for people who want to just keep it about the cards, by all means, you do you. Keep it all about the cards. If that's all you want to do and you never want to show your face on social media, I think that's totally fine. You do what's comfortable for you. I just know that for me, I wanted to feel a connection, and that's kind of where we're going to get to with the Hobby Fight Club stuff. I'm a middle-aged dude now. Like, I am not a spring chicken. I had a I am in my early 40s, and I gotta say, it's hard to find new adult male friendships. When you're young, when you were in school, K through 12, college, whatever, like, you have a built-in network or a group of people that you go play with after school, or you study together. Some people in the opposite sex, or I guess, what am I saying? Like same sex, whatever, right? People find, romantic relationships, right? And so people can find a lot of social interaction in school, in education. Then as someone who has a career or goes to work, again, like I have said this in the past, but I'm not going to get deep into it. Again, another story for another time. But I work for the federal government. That's all I'll say for now. But your work people become like your social network, right? Because that's like your 9 to 5. And so during COVID times, like I was fully remote or fully teleworking, and like I didn't get that interaction. And it's like it was kind of strange, right? It was strange for all of us, but it was kind of lonely. And I was seeking like some sort of kinship or bond, because it's so hard even without COVID. Like in normal times, it's hard to find as an adult, especially when you have young kids and you're running around and trying to get them situated and try to support them and their desires and their childhoods and their happiness, to find a bond with your fellow man, or in this case, like fellow collector, right? So I just I that's what I was that I feel like that's what was like missing in my life, or something like that. And it didn't help that I got back into the hobby right when I turned 40, and I was going through like the midlife crisis. In the beginning it was a joke, haha, I'm going through a midlife crisis, but like I was like, oh shit, like I'm actually going through midlife crisis. So and I'm gonna get to that too down in another thread comment section. But I'm sharing Sam here side by side. I was just sharing out my photos, and I was consuming a lot of content, and I was like, I feel like I could do this a little bit. I feel like maybe I could even do it a little bit better than what I'm watching, or maybe I'll make a parody video, but like in a fun, playful way, not in a mean-spirited way. I didn't get mean-spirited until people started getting mean-spirited towards me. But again, story for another time. So you do you, Sam. He didn't respond back to this thing, right? He's just like, oh shit, like I don't know, like that's he said what he said, and I said what I said, and I'm done. So if he ever wants to message back out, or maybe he's going through my back catalog content, which I know a lot of people don't do on social media, but they do on YouTube, enjoy it, like, or not. If it sucks, it sucks. If you think it sucks, it sucks. So let's get to the Hobby Fight Club part, because I kind of talked about why I got into this hobby. It might be the same reason for some of you other middle-aged dudes. And so Grizzly, okay, I don't know either of these people. I also don't know Sam. Grizzly Cards Whatnot. I guess in a way I'm promoting his Whatnot here for free. But he wrote in response to my reaction video, his reaction was Delusions of grandeur. The guy has 15.5K followers and thinks he's the face of the hobby. There are kids in this game with a better following, which is true. Because some of these kids are crushing it. Don't get me wrong, he's built a thriving business and they run half decent breaks, but that is the same story for hundreds of other guys in cards. I don't know about hundreds of other guys, but yes, there are a lot of breakers and a lot of people who make a lot of money. Based on merit alone, simply an outsider's perspective, they seem to be more of a cancer to the hobby than anything else. His words, not mine. Guys that we all dream of giving the beating of a lifetime to. So it's that last sentence. Yikes, right? So I just respond, I 100% do not condone violence of any kind, but duly noted. And which, yeah, I don't even have to get into the reasons why. I mean, that is what I do not condone that. And then 20 leg from out of nowhere, RKO out of nowhere from the top rope. He chimes in and he says, if Jeju Blez doesn't want to stand up for himself, I'll fight you, shrug emoji. Vegas, on Blez channel, we can decide if we should be running mouths about violence personally or stick to cards, shrug emoji. I'm there for Super Bowl in 2 weeks. Care to show up and make it interesting? Or, question mark? Can't believe... He's coming. Okay, so I respond to 20 leg. I interject myself into this little tete-a-tete that's going on, and I say, so he asked you, he being Jeju Blez, or Jared Blez, why am I saying? He asked you to come over here to defend himself, and you did so just like a good customer. Good job. To clap emojis. I didn't know. It was just a guess that he's coming in because he breaks with him, which turned out to be true, by the way. But he comes in, and he is just like, well, if he doesn't want to fight, I'll fight you. Like, holy cow. Like, talk about Stockholm Syndrome. So, Grizzly Cards, whatnot says, sure, send me 50K. I'll fly down, and we can go 8 rounds, 2 minutes each, 10-ounce gloves. We're getting really specific here. Like, what? 20 leg then says, I'm 42. I smoke a lot of weed, period D. I can't make 8 rounds, but I can go real hard for 3 or 4. Would you settle for best of 3 rounds, no gloves, and a case of Prism, along with 500 in slot or table credit at the Luxor, and a free Prime steak dinner at Prime? I applaud the specificity in this and how detailed these two gentlemen are getting. So, like, he's like, I can't, I'm 40. Okay. Then 20 leg continues by saying, hey, he adds backer and says, set it up and put up the case of Prism and steak dinner, and I'll call Dana. I imagine he means Dana White. I'll call Dana, and Steve-O Raybon, who I don't know who he is, but I just gave you a little plug I hear, will train me up for a couple of weeks. So then I come in, because I'm just like, this is amazing. So I just say, in all caps, one time for the boys. And then Grizzly Whatnot card says, 42, young, you'll be fine. Too old for bare knuckle, though. But if you can't do 8, I'll give you 3 rounds, boxing or mixed, with gloves. Send payment. I'll show up, and I'll co-host it live on my channel, and I'll give you a free t-shirt to wear after. And you know what? I don't have it here. I don't have it on my screen, but I'll try to find it because I don't know if 20 leg deleted it, or I know I didn't. Some people think that I delete comments. I don't. Why would I flush down this gold down the toilet? I don't. I block some people when they get very, very when they cross the line, like, you know, not like a little bit, like way past the line. I'll mute people, I'll restrict people, because I need to, as a content creator, I need to like just preserve my own sanity with all this social media nonsense. Having said that, I was not going to block either of these two. They're just going at it. And I just thought, man, if these two could just meet up in person, they're not going to say this to his stuff. You know what? Well, this is the Hobby Fight Club stuff. So if they met each other, this is like social media, right? Like, it just gives you like the internet muscles. These people think that they can talk to each other like this because they think they'll never meet up in person in life ever. If they actually did meet up, I feel like they could just hash it out, bro hug, maybe get a drink, maybe even go to steak prime dinner, and just have a good time, and just realize that they're just passionate, and they let their emotions get the best of them. Having said that, if they fought, I feel like they would even bond even more, because I feel like that's what's missing. And I'm not condoning violence, but I feel like in this modern age, the online personas we have, it's like, if people actually, like when we're boys, like, or I'm assuming that watching 98% of you are men, but like sometimes guys or kids or boys, whatever you want to say, young adults, young men, just have to get physical, like, aggression out. And it's not like you have to like beat someone down, but more of like, whether it's like wrestling, or like you just have to, like, there's this like primal urge or need to just kind of like get you know get the aggression out. And I feel like we live in such a society today, and I don't want to go on this whole big old soapbox, but I feel like we're told that you can't do this, you can't do that, or you're going to get hurt, or don't get dirty, or don't get, so we're telling our kids, Western society, US American society, we're telling our kids, don't do this, don't do that, it's for your own safety. And it's like we're not allowing them to just kind of like get their like primal aggression out. And again, boxing, or MMA, is a safe way, again, like if it's sanctioned and all that stuff, right? But it seems like they want a sanctioned boxing match or MMA match. But I feel like that's the hobby Fight Club. The analogy, again, you had in the movie Fight Club, which used to be a book, by the way, and it was from Chuck Palahniuk. And he was a great author. He wrote many good books. But he and David Fincher had this idea of men who are doing well in their jobs, who have things in life. They have, there's this whole side thing about consumerism, or maybe main thing about consumerism and capitalism. I'm not getting into that aspect. I'm getting into like the male aggression part. See, when I watched that movie when I was in my late teens or early 20s, I remember, because that movie's like about 20 years ago, I remember, actually, if it was, what is it, 1999 it came out, so 26 years ago? I don't know. Yeah, oh my gosh. Jeez. I just know that I watched that, like many of my friends in the same age range at that time, and were like, God, want to get ripped like Brad Pitt, want to like get your aggression out. It's like full, like, alpha male aggression, like, let's blow shit up, and like, let's get like, let's get crazy, right? I mean, you got the Brad Pitt poster next to the John Belushi college, wearing the college sweatshirt, black and white, drinking, and it's like, oh man, frat, bro culture, bro, and all that stuff, right? So that's what young men who watch that movie would feel. And then, not that I've watched it recently, although it's been on my mind, and it came to mind when I read the comments on this, but like, when you are middle-aged and you are doing well, you're flying, whether or not you're traveling for work, but like you are, you're buying your IKEA furniture. Of course, you get elevated to like other better furniture companies, but I think in that movie it was like IKEA furniture or whatever. So you have a stable income, you have a career. I think at that time those guys didn't have like significant others, which could have been which is probably another whole reason for that a storyline, or reason for the movie. But I just know that these guys were like, I am in a rut. I have these things in my life. I thought I could buy happiness, and I can't. And I just need to beat the shit out of someone to feel something. And not even I need to beat the shit. I need to get beat up, right? It was like Tyler being like, hit me. And sorry, no spoilers. Actually, you know what? It's 26 years old. The buildings fall down at the end. It's nihilistic. Shit gets crazy at the end. Bob dies, all that stuff. Spoiler, whatever. Actually, I have to figure out if I want to make this into a two-parter. But let me push through. So I feel like if you don't get that, you don't understand that movie in your 20s. You just can't, because you didn't go through life being like this, having a job that pays maybe okay, but you hate, like you don't like your coworkers, you're in a rut, you're like, you don't have time for like your own hobbies. You have to like, you're just kind of like, you're just like wandering aimlessly. And it's men, right? Because it's not, it's a fight club, but there's no women fighting each other. It's men who are just like watering the lawn and just being like, what the hell's going on in my life? And just kind of being like, whatever, I don't know, maybe you call it existential dread or something like that. But I know for me, I came back into this hobby, the one that I loved for a while, and then I just kind of like broke up with until I got back together like 3 years ago. I came back into this hobby for the kinship, for, I don't want to use the word community because I think that's such a BS word sometimes, but I came back because it is hard to have male friends as an adult. Again, education, work, you can have these built-in social networks, but I didn't have that, and I was craving it. And I found through social media just guys just talk, us just talking, man, like just kind of being like, man, like shit, today was a shit day, like things like that. And just kind of like finding the pleasure in the cards and talking about the cards and like bonding, right? And so I feel like this, if 20 leg and grizzly cards, whatnot, actually like MMA fought each other, that they'd be like, you know what? Kind of like two hockey players at the end of a game, or two boxers just going at it, just being like handshake, great fight, let's grab a beer, let's go have some steak, let's just go have some fun, like just for the boys. That's why I did in all caps, for the boys. It's like, man, there's so much like stupid internet, like like the people who say drama are the most dramatic. And by the way, yeah, I'm Korean, K-drama, okay? That's all I gotta say. Squid Game. If these two ever met each other, like I don't want them to like get physically beat to almost to an inch of their death, but like, okay, so they get beat up and they get hurt a little bit. Like, so long as they're not getting like stabbed or shot, like if they can actually like get their physical aggression out and be like, you know what, like we're good now, we're good. Like that's what's missing. That's what's missing in like the middle-aged men, the young men, the kids. Like, oh, you can't, don't touch anyone. And it's like, you can't do that or you're going to get expelled. It's like, man, like when I grew up, like I didn't get into many fights, but the ones that I did, like you made up with the dude, right? Like I remember getting to this one fight, and I'm not going to get into all the details because again, this story time's getting way too long. But you fight and then you go, hey, like I respect the hell out of you. Like we're good now. Like we squashed the beef. That's it. We're done. And that's how I grew up. And I'd like to say like, and look how I turned out. But again, look at me. I'm talking to a camera here. This is the world we live in. So I'm not going to read any more of the comments in this Instagram. There's one person who's like positive, vibes only. And I'm like, clearly this person's never come into my content before. It probably got shared around and he just came in. Oh yeah, Joe Tall Sports Cards, positive vibes only. And I said, hey, clearly a long-time watcher, first-time commenter. Definitely not a long-time watcher, because if they knew me in Instagram, tongue-in-cheek, all that stuff. But definitely a first-time commenter, because I have no clue who that person is. So I'm not going to read the rest. Actually, yes, I will. 20 leg. He writes in a separate thread in the comments. The video started great, but then you had to start enforcing how someone, this one's boring, blah, 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 offend you personally. What a cringy ass hater thing to do, blah, blah, blah. Deflate your point, somewhat your credibility. Okay. So he's writing all caps and all this stuff. And then so I sarcastically say, okay, Jared, because he at least shows his face and his name in his Instagram profile. So he's not a complete, he's not like a burner account. Or maybe it is. Okay, Jared, I'm sure a lot of people agree with you. It'd be actually really funny if this was Jared, but like Jerad or Jared. Okay. He goes, I mean, I would imagine so. Think if you put yourself in your shoes, should you take to heart and make change over the hundreds and thousands of comments from people that personally thought you needed it? Which, by the way, this guy is trying to change me by his comments. But anyway, You ever ask Jeju Blez why that's his nickname? Isn't that appropriating? And he's spelling all this wrong, but I think he means appropriating racial hate and exclusion that demand another race or culture conform to your personal, religious, or cultural beliefs. And then he writes, you are clearly nearing or past 40. Get off the camera, dude. It's yucky AF. You are making videos like a teenage high school girl with a dream to be Sally Jesse one day. There's so many moments of irony here. He's like, it's yucky AF. So he's talking like the youths. And he's telling me I'm acting like a teenage high school girl. And I do later say, by the way, Sally Jesse Raphael rocks, because how many of us, after Price is Right, you're sick from school, you're sick at home from school, and like you're just going through the channels. Of course, like, you know, Sally Jesse with those glasses, like, look at my glasses. They're like Sally Jesse glasses. Go do something for your wife or your kids or parents or a complete stranger. Anything but add more needless commentary that no one really needs to be making. It's a waste of time and human energy, and it's sad. Man, this dude is projecting so much onto me. This is not even about me at this point. This is about him, okay? So, 20 leg, man, he just says, go do something for your wife or your kids or parents. Like, he has no clue about my personal life, but, you know, he has wife and kids, and maybe he feels like, you know, he needs to spend some more time with them too. So then I did stoke the flames. I did respond back by saying cry more because I was feeling a little feisty and snarky. And then I wrote, capitalize everything, please, with 3 crying smile laugh emojis. And then this is when it gets good. This is, again, like us kind of, he showed a little bit of his humanism, and then I kind of responded back. He said, I apologize. My phone's autocorrect is stuck on drunk Karen. So I laughed, legit LOL. So I said, LOL, that's pretty funny, with the nails emoji for Karen. And then I also said something we can all disagree to hate, or we can all, I think I meant something we can all agree to hate on, which is autocorrect going crazy. Man, I screwed up there. Then I also wrote to him because he said, oh, you're 40 and cringy AF. I said, yes, I am over 40, and that is part of why I do this. It's probably very similar to the reason why you're here commenting on my post, and also why you collect cards and break with Blez. You want to be a part of something, with a fist emoji. So, again, you grow up, you're told that, you know, all you need is, you know, the nuclear family, the wife, 2.4 kids, the 1.5 dog, the white fence, picket fence. You get the house, you get the car, you get the job, and you should be happy. You've made it. I will say, and this, again, I keep saying it, but I don't want to keep going so long. I'm going to have to make it for another video. But, you know, there is this thing called like the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Yes, get the roof over your head, get the comfort, get the warmth, get the love, get all this, get all that. But like, maybe it is selfish because many people don't have all of that, right? We have people who don't have stability in their lives, but just because you have that in your life, it doesn't mean that you don't want more. We are all human. We want more. And so the more for me and other people who are in this hobby that is a privilege to be a part of is to want more, either status or ego. Again, the money's there, but maybe you want more money. People want, you know, to be accepted. They want the respect. They want self-realization or actualization, all this stuff. Like, I don't know. I've just not recently learned about it, but like, I'm still like getting more understanding of these concepts. And like with, Fight Club, I gotta watch that again, by the way. But let me power through. Let me make this, I'll try to stay under 45 minutes. But, you know, he's saying, I spend thousands of money. No. I actually spend money with them, like hundreds and thousands of dollars. I collect cards. I know where to go when I want to find the best cases. I guarantee you aren't doing that. You're a baseless op neon man, a hater. Prove me wrong. Show us your orders from Blez and your hits. Otherwise, it's not hard. Just stay in your lane. Stick to commenting on what you do. Then it won't seem like haterism. So the thing that really stood out to me there was, are you saying to get juice boxes? So then he says, I'm saying exactly what we all know, that Panini and Topps are nothing more than, all caps, or not all caps, capital letters. Unscrupulous capitalist corporations that have been sold out and possess exactly zero integrity or love for the game. And as such, these companies send their best hits to the industry's biggest breakers because they know it will result in more eyes on their product, which, by the way, didn't happen with the Paul Skeens. As you say yourself, gather info as a consumer and make informed decisions, right? So if Panini and Topps are sending the biggest breakers their hits, it's not the breakers knowing or requesting, but how capitalism works. Get on the bus or don't, but blaming the breakers is ludicrous. By the way, I didn't respond to that comment. I had to let this sink in, the irony of all of this. Backer makes a video where he may or may not be trolling the entire industry and trying to get people to talk about him because any publicity is good publicity, blah, 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 blah. I make a reaction video. I make an Instagram reel about the reaction video. People are reacting to my reaction video, and now I'm reacting to their reactions on the reaction video, which you're watching right now, which is many layers of inception and meta here. He's also putting on the conspiracy tinfoil hat about the juice boxes while defending his buddy Breaker, who was defending the corporation. Like, I think you get what I'm saying here, right? Like, there is something that there's these connective dots that are just so deliciously ironic, where he is defending someone who is defending a conspiracy theory, but then citing to another conspiracy theory to try to prove his point as to why he breaks with them. And by the way, they didn't get the card. A 11-year-old in LA did. Oh, hey, cat. You want to come up? No, cats. That's rich. That's amazing. Why would I block this person? He's giving me, like, this is gold. So I'm not going to read the other comments here. That is where I'm going to stop the video. I want to say hobby positivity, hobby negativity. They're almost like this supposed Fight Club. I did this Tupac Biggie thing where they're like, choose one, or, anyone tells me to choose their side, I'm not going to choose them. Like, I want to think for myself. I want to make my own decisions. I think a lot of you do too in the hobby. That's why we don't like to be marketed or sold to. I think that it's just like, you know what? It's all like, it's entertainment. Like, even this, like, I hope you're enjoying this. Man, if you got this far, thank you so much. Like, I really appreciate you. And if you liked or commented my other video or shared it, like, thank you. If I get good numbers out of this video, I'll do more of this. But if this gets like 100 views after like, 1,700 views, it'll be like those other times when I made a GameStop video and then I did a mail day and then it got no views. Like, why would I make content that gets 0 views? Like, yes, I make content for myself, but again, the numbers or the money, that's the validation, right? So I would love to get it to 1,000. If or when I do, I think it's when, not if. But when I get to 1,000, I'm going to share the numbers with you, and I'm going to show you behind the scenes how much money I get to monetize from YouTube. I want to show you more behind the scenes or curtain stuff where I go through like my sell plan for 2025, like things that I'm doing, and I just want to, this is entertainment. Like, for me, this is fun. But hobby positivity, hobby negativity. I think a lot of us are just like in the middle, right? We don't want to choose sides. We're just like, we want to believe, but we were lied to, or like we want to believe, but we are a little skeptical because of the baggage we bring into the hobby from our lives. Like, all right, sorry about that. My camera is telling me to shut up and to end the video. I ran out of storage. I've been trying to shoot in higher quality. That means more storage space. I'm trying to shoot this in 4K, 60 frames per second. So I do apologize about that. I just wanted to I deleted some things, pictures of, my cards to make this outro. But thank you so much for the support. And the more I grow, the more I want to show, that sounded wrong. But I want to show more stuff, and I would love the support, and that's it. I mean, there's more I said, like the whole hobby positivity, negativity. I mean, you get it. Like, just you know, think for yourself, have a good time in the hobby, enjoy your cards, enjoy the collection. Remember, the sport, this is all supposed to be for fun. And yes, the people who say drama are the ones who are most dramatic, so watch out for them. And I guess I gotta end with saying his name was not Bob. It was, well, I'll say it in the way they say it in the movie, in Fight Club. His name is Robert Paulson. So that's all I want to say. Thank you guys so much. Have a good evening.